Hi, it's Paul, and today I'm off on a journey. I have a meeting to attend in Rugby. I'm going from Northampton and I'm going to take the bike, in this case the Brompton Electric, and the train. I've had a look online on YouTube and that, and I can't find any information from people saying how easy or difficult it is to train commute with the Brompton Electric. So I thought I'd find out how easy it is and document it. So I'm on my way down the station and we shall see. Follow along and see how it goes. It's about a 15-minute ride down to the station. It's not too bad a day today, so that's okay. It's a bit fresh and a bit windy, but of course, because I have the Brompton Electric, I don't care about how breezy it is. I've only got it on level 1 of assistance, because that's what I ride in most of the time anyway. So I don't have any fears on battery, because I think the actual cycling portion of the journey is only going to be about maybe 14 miles total. It's just gone 9 o'clock, so some of the traffic is starting to die down a bit. Kids are at school, lots of people are at work, and maybe some people are late for work. So a couple more minutes to the station. Off to my right is a little park. The river runs at the bottom of it. Naseby Nene, or the Naseby arm of the Nene, or Nen, whatever you want to call it. Into the station car park. Bit of off-road. And here we are, first phase of the journey complete in the station car park. Now got to fold the bike, ready to go on the train. So taking all the stuff off it, my phone, and I'll move the camera system in a minute. Now obviously this is taking longer than it would do normally, partly because it's not something I do every day, so it's not familiar to me. It's not sort of automatic, if you like, and the other because I've got all the camera stuff hanging on the bike, which takes time to move about. Key point right now, as you'll see, I haven't got the standard Brompton thumb screw on the frame hinge. I've taken that off because I've got a second camera mount on that I'm going to use in a moment to show you the perspective of carrying the Brompton folded through the station. Also, you might have spotted me taking a strap off that was around the battery and the bracket. There's an entire separate video about why I put a strap around the battery and hold it down. Okay, speeding through a bit of the messing about now. Now the camera is moved, and the next thing you'll see is I'm going to put the battery pack in my backpack. There is a strap on the battery pack. You can have it short like a carry handle, or you can have it long like a shoulder strap, but it does come fitted with a strap and a handle, so there's no issue with carrying it on its own. It's just I've already got a backpack, so rather than carry the backpack and the battery and the bike, I'm going to slim that down a bit and chuck the battery inside the backpack. Once everything's packed up, then off we go. I've left the seat up for the moment so that I can push the bike along. I've got the 4-wheel set up on the standard Brompton rack, and that makes, in my opinion, a huge amount of difference in pushing it along. People will say that you can push it quite adequately with 3 wheels without the rack. I never found it so. Again, there's an explanation of that in one of my other videos. So here we are in the hall of the station, and what we're going to do now is carry the bike upstairs. So I've dropped the saddle to lock it all together, and I can just pick it up by the nose of the saddle and trot up the stairs with it, as you see in some of the advertising videos. Okay, so disclaimer. I am 64 years old at the time of making this video. I am probably not as fit as I could be, but I'm not grossly unfit. Doing this was properly a struggle. The bike is heavy because of the weight of the motor in addition to the standard Brompton weight. And yes, I know I've got a camera hanging on it and I've got the lock on it and stuff, which all adds to the weight. But this is not an easy thing to drag up the stairs, I will say that. Yes, I could have used the lift, but I wanted to see how I would get on with the stairs because there are stations that still don't have lifts. I'll come back to the weight and moving it about later on. For the moment, we're now in the upper hall and we're going through the turnstiles. I've got my phone app, but what I will say is if you're going through one of these automatic turnstiles, barriers, whatever, use the disabled wheelchair bit because you'll find life a lot easier. Having almost successfully negotiated the barrier, now stick the seat back up so I can roll it again, push it along, and we're off to the stairs down onto the platform. Next epic fail, point to note coming up. As I reach the top of the stairs, I want to pick it up and carry it down the stairs. When the seat is up, the Brompton is not locked together. Don't pick it up when the seat's up in the air, not in the way I did it, because it'll all unfold itself and make a right mess. A quick refold and lock it down with the seat, no harm done, and we're off down the stairs. Downstairs is obviously slightly less difficult than going upstairs, but nonetheless, it's still a challenge. Down on the platform, just dump it down for a moment, and then I can put the seat back up and wheel it about as much as I like. Okay, time to board the train then. I'd read on the London North Western website that bikes can be carried in the area where the wheelchair accessible section is. There's a reasonable amount of space there where the seats are folded up and stuff. So although it's a Brompton and it folds down tiny, I thought, well, I'll head for that area because there's going to be plenty of room. This was 9:30 in the morning, so as you can see, not too busy. Obviously, much more of a challenge in commuter time. Getting it on the train was easy enough. I actually left the saddle up in this instance so as I could wheel it about if I needed to inside the train. To do so, I grabbed both sides of the Brompton with both hands and lifted it up so it wouldn't come unfolded. That was quite successful. Didn't need to wheel it about, so I dropped the saddle and just picked it up, moved it over to the storage location, and everything was good to go. Next time I do the journey, I'll stick it somewhere in the sort of seating area and see how that goes. Not much to say about the journey itself. We saw some countryside and stuff, and then we saw Long Buckby Station, which was the only stop between Northampton and Rugby. So again, not a great deal to say about that. And then we were heading into Rugby itself and preparing to get off the train. You can see here I've lifted it up actually from the main frame tube, which isn't the recommendation from Brompton. They say lift it from the nose of the saddle, but it is the reason that you find some people have got like a leather strap that goes around the main tube that you can lift it with because it has a handle on it. It just seems to balance a little bit better at that point and it feels a little bit more comfortable. So just wait for the doors to open, and then I'm going to hop off the train, put the bike on the floor, and head on into the station concourse. This time I'm not bothering to lift up the saddle because I've only got sort of 20 yards to go, so it seems a little bit pointless. I'm just going to push it along with the saddle. Thankfully the rail line at Rugby is high up, so there's only the stairs down to ground level. I haven't got 2 sets of stairs to do, so off we go down the stairs into the main concourse of the station, and then I'm going across underneath the tunnel, or through the tunnel underneath the railway line, out onto the street where I will put the bike back together again. This time I did remember to use the wheelchair accessible entrance at the barrier, which went fine except for the fact that it didn't want to work, so I had a couple of attempts to it, which is why it seems like I'm messing about a bit. Also, you'll see it's awkward for me. I carry my phone in my left hand and the barriers are set up for people that carry their phone or ticket in the right hand. But that's just me. I'm not particularly fussed about it. It's just something I have to get used to. So that pretty much concludes the actual journey itself. If this stuff's useful to you, perhaps you'd consider doing the like and subscribe thing. If it's really helped you, maybe you would consider making a small contribution on my page on ko-fi.com, where you can buy me a virtual coffee. That would be most helpful. So to sum up then, would I do this again? Yes, absolutely I would. No issue there. But I've kind of made myself a personal checklist. 1. Bear in mind the bike is heavy, so if you can use a lift rather than the stairs. 2. Make sure you lock the bike together by putting the seat down when you fold it, and then lift the seat up when you want to roll it along. Makes life so much simpler. I'm going to find some silicone spray or something to put on the seat post of mine so that it actually moves up and down easier. 3. Again, wherever possible, use the disabled or wheelchair access at the barrier, because you've got more space to get the bike through, and if you're carrying it or if you're rolling it, that's just going to make your life a lot simpler as well. But all in all, I enjoyed the journey. It 100% made a huge difference from taking the car, as I would normally do, and being sat on traffic in the motorway. Again, as I said, it wasn't in particular commuter time, so it would be interesting to try it again then. Might be a little bit more of a challenge, but one day I'll find out. So if you've stuck with it all the way through the video, thanks very much for your interest and attention. If you've got questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the comments below, or go over to oldmanwith.com and put them on the Ask a Question function on the website. Other than that, again, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.